Welcome to Global Sky Update. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. I don't think people understand just how Ukraine managed to build a cruise missile from scraps. This is going to blow your mind.
In a hidden workshop far from the front lines, the air is thick with the scent of oil, ozone, and anticipation. This is not a place of comfort or luxury, but a sanctuary for invention, where every corner tells a story of resourcefulness and hope. Sparks leap from a grinder, briefly illuminating the determined faces of Ukrainian engineers. Their eyes reflect both exhaustion and unwavering resolve, as each shower of sparks marks another step toward their goal. They are not in a high-tech factory, but a repurposed garage, its walls lined with battered shelves and heaps of discarded metal. Old electronics, wires, and forgotten machinery are stacked in every corner, waiting to be reborn. Here, in this unlikely setting, they are building a weapon, piece by piece, bolt by bolt. Every part is carefully chosen, every connection double-checked, as if the fate of their country depends on it.
This is the birthplace of the Flamingo, a cruise missile born from necessity and ingenuity. In the quiet hours before dawn, the workshop hums with activity as the first outlines of the missile take shape. The challenge was immense: build a precision weapon with almost no resources, using whatever could be found or salvaged. Each component, whether from a downed airplane or a broken radio, had to be adapted and repurposed. Ukraine's engineers became scavengers and inventors, hunting for airplane parts, Soviet-era electronics, and even commercial gadgets. They searched scrapyards, raided old warehouses, and stripped down drones for anything useful. Each piece of junk became a puzzle piece for their new creation, a revolution in military hardware. What others saw as trash, they saw as opportunity, fitting together the unlikely parts into something greater than the sum of its pieces.
The name Flamingo started as a joke among the team, a clumsy bird on the ground, but surprisingly graceful and deadly in the air. The name stuck, a reminder to never underestimate what looks awkward or out of place. The Flamingo became more than just a weapon. It was a symbol of humor, resilience, and fierce determination. The engineers painted it with jokes and Ukrainian symbols, infusing it with their spirit and pride.
This project was a closely guarded secret, known only to a trusted few. They worked day and night, often in silence, learning from every failure and celebrating every small victory in the shadows. They had no manual to follow, just creativity, grit, and a mission to survive. Every setback was met with a new idea, every obstacle with stubborn persistence. Improvisation became their greatest tool. The Flamingo was more than a missile. It was Ukraine's will to fight, embodied in steel and ingenuity. In every weld and wire, it carried the hopes of a nation refusing to give up.
The Flamingo's body tells its own story, crafted from aluminum salvaged from retired aircraft. Engineers scoured boneyards, repurposing metal from old Soviet bombers and trainer jets.
Each sheet was cleaned and riveted, creating a sturdy, patched-together frame. The internal structure used basic ribs and stringers, making it easy to build and repair. No complex molds, just a mosaic of fitted parts produced in small workshops across Ukraine.
The pop-out wings use spring-loaded mechanisms often sourced from car parts, simple, reliable, and effective.
Even the paint was custom mixed to absorb radar, using locally available materials. Every detail, from salvaged metal to radar-absorbing paint, showcased the team's resourcefulness. The Flamingo was a phoenix rising from the ashes of old machines, ready for its fiery purpose.
The Flamingo's brain, its guidance system, was by far the toughest challenge for Ukrainian engineers. Creating a reliable way to steer a missile, especially with limited resources, demanded both creativity and technical skill. Ukraine couldn't get advanced Western navigation units, so they had to improvise and build their own from scratch, using whatever components they could source locally or salvage from older technology.
At the heart of the system is a commercial satellite receiver, the kind you might find in civilian drones or even cars, backed up by a simple inertial navigation system salvaged from decommissioned airliners. These parts, though not military-grade, form the backbone of the Flamingo's navigation. While this setup isn't as precise as the best military systems, it's surprisingly effective. Even if enemy electronic countermeasures try to jam the signal, the Flamingo can stay on course, thanks to its backup systems.
The missile's onboard computer is constantly cross-checking satellite data with inertial readings, filtering out any suspicious or jammed signals. This redundancy makes it much harder for the enemy to throw the missile off track. But the real breakthrough is TERCOM, terrain contour matching. This technology lets the missile read the ground below and compare it to a stored map, adjusting its path in real time. Before launch, operators load a detailed 3D map of the planned route into the missile's computer. As it flies, a radar altimeter measures the ground height, and the computer constantly tweaks the course to match the map, even if GPS is lost.
For the final attack phase, DSMAC, Digital Scene Matching Area Correlation, takes over. This is where the missile becomes almost like a hunter, using vision to find its prey. A simple but effective camera in the missile's nose streams live images, which the computer compares to a preloaded satellite photo of the target area. When the images match, the missile knows it's on target.
It's almost like showing the missile a photograph and telling it, "Go find this exact spot, no matter what." This visual guidance system makes the Flamingo not only accurate, but also extremely difficult to jam or fool with decoys. Even if the enemy tries to blind it with electronic warfare, the Flamingo can still see and strike its target. It's a clever, robust system, ingeniously built from scraps and off-the-shelf parts, proving that necessity really is the mother of invention.
The Flamingo's engine is a modified turbojet, often repurposed from old Soviet missiles or airliner APUs.
To launch, a solid rocket booster gives the initial push, then falls away as the turbojet takes over.
The warhead is modular, usually a 4.53 high-explosive charge built from repurposed artillery shells or mines. For other missions, it can carry a fragmentation warhead for softer targets.
Standard jet fuel fills most of the missile's body, maximizing range. Lightweight, efficient, and deadly, every component was chosen for cost-effectiveness and impact. The Flamingo is designed to strike deep behind enemy lines, a weapon built for Ukraine's needs.
A Flamingo's journey starts in secrecy. Launched from a disguised truck at night, the booster ignites, hurling the missile skyward before dropping away. The turbojet takes over, and the Flamingo drops to just 30-50 meters above ground. Terrain-hugging flight.
Flying low, it hides from radar, weaving through valleys and around defenses.
The TERCOM system constantly matches ground contours, making tiny course corrections. If jammed, it switches to inertial navigation, ignoring interference. The missile is a ghost, silent, autonomous, and nearly invisible. As it nears the target, DSMAC activates, scanning for a visual match. Once locked, the Flamingo dives onto the target, sometimes popping up before impact. The result? A flash, an explosion, and a mission completed with deadly precision. From hidden launch to direct hit, the Flamingo's flight is a testament to brilliant design. A new kind of warfare in action.
Good evening. Reports tonight of powerful explosions deep inside Russian-occupied territory. Sources claim these strikes were carried out by Ukraine's new cruise missile, the Flamingo, a stunning technological leap.
This is asymmetric warfare. Ukraine using salvaged parts and clever software to create an effective, affordable weapon.
Soldiers see the Flamingo as justice, a way to strike back at enemy logistics and command centers.
Satellite imagery confirms precision strikes hundreds of kilometers from the front.
The Flamingo is cheap, numerous, and overwhelming defenses by sheer numbers.
The news spreads fast, a digital confirmation of the Flamingo's impact, verified by a global audience. Ukraine's innovation is changing the battlefield. Place the Flamingo next to American and Russian missiles, and the differences are striking. The Tomahawk and Storm Shadow are high-tech, precise, and expensive, over $2 million each.
The Russian Caliber is cheaper, built in large numbers, but still needs a massive industrial base.
The Flamingo is neither a scalpel nor a hammer. It's a sharpened stick. It can't match Western precision or Russian quantity, but it doesn't need to. Its genius is in cost-effectiveness and clever design. For the price of one Tomahawk, Ukraine can build dozens of Flamingos.
The philosophy is different. Flamingo is good enough to beat Russian defenses, using unpredictable routes and visual guidance. It's a lesson. The most expensive weapon isn't always the best. Sometimes, a cheap, clever, and numerous weapon can change the course of war. The Flamingo is tailored for Ukraine's fight. Innovation, not just firepower, is reshaping the battlefield. the sharpened stick can make all the difference. The modern battlefield is a hostile environment for cruise missiles, with advanced radar systems scanning the skies, surface-to-air missiles ready to launch, and electronic warfare vehicles constantly searching for threats. It's a place where survival is never guaranteed. Every inch of airspace is monitored, and the chaos of battle means that even the most advanced missiles can be detected and destroyed in seconds. But the Flamingo's survival isn't about heavy stealth armor or expensive cloaking technology. Instead, it relies on being clever, resourceful, and incredibly hard to spot. Its design philosophy is all about blending in, using the environment as its shield, and making itself a difficult target for even the most sophisticated defenses.
The Flamingo's first and most important defense is its altitude. By flying extremely low, sometimes just meters above the ground, it stays beneath the majority of radar beams. The missile uses the natural curve of the Earth and the contours of the terrain to hide from enemy sensors, making it nearly invisible to most detection systems. Its route is carefully planned in advance, taking advantage of hills, ridges, and valleys to create radar shadows. By weaving through these natural obstacles, the Flamingo can slip past enemy defenses almost unnoticed, using the landscape itself as a protective barrier.
But it's not just about flying low. The Flamingo's unpredictability is a crucial part of its survival. It doesn't follow a straight line. Instead, it makes random turns, sudden doglegs, and unexpected maneuvers. This erratic path confuses enemy computers, making it nearly impossible to predict where the missile will go next, or to set up an effective interception. On radar screens, the Flamingo seems to appear and disappear, giving defenders only a few precious seconds to react. This fleeting visibility makes it a nightmare for radar operators, who struggle to keep track of its position as it darts through the landscape.
Another layer of defense is its simple, robust design. Modern electronic jammers are powerful, but they can't block the Flamingo's terrain matching or visual guidance systems. The missile uses cameras and sensors to compare the ground below with stored maps and images, allowing it to navigate even when electronic warfare is at its fiercest. You can't jam the shape of a mountain, the outline of a river, or the image of a building. The Flamingo uses these unjammable features to guide itself, making it immune to many of the tricks that modern defenders rely on.
By relying on analog navigation systems, the Flamingo sidesteps many vulnerabilities of digital technology. Analog instruments are less susceptible to hacking, spoofing, or electronic interference, giving the missile a unique edge in a world dominated by digital warfare. In a sense, the Flamingo is a ghost in the digital storm, a low-tech solution that consistently outsmarts high-tech defenses. Its simplicity is its strength, allowing it to slip through cracks that more complex systems can't avoid. The Flamingo survives by being unpredictable, adaptable, and just clever enough to stay one step ahead of its pursuers. It's a master of improvisation, always finding a new way to evade capture or destruction. Sometimes, in a world obsessed with complexity, simplicity becomes the ultimate shield. The Flamingo proves that with the right tactics and a bit of ingenuity, even the simplest designs can survive the deadliest battlefields. The Flamingo is more than a weapon. It's a symbol of Ukraine's spirit and ingenuity.
It proves a determined nation can challenge a superpower by exploiting weaknesses with creativity. This DIY revolution shows the future of warfare isn't just billion-dollar tech, but adaptable, cost-effective solutions.
The Flamingo is a case study in resilience, turning disadvantages into strengths.
Each strike is a moral victory, reminding Ukrainians they're not just defending, but fighting back smartly.
The Flamingo is a call to action, proof of what Ukraine can achieve, and why support matters. With more resources, imagine what else they could build. The Flamingo shows Ukrainians are not just victims, they're ingenious defenders. Supporting them is an investment in a future where innovation and courage triumph. The Flamingo flies as a banner of hope,